So I decided today to ask this question. How smart can you become? And I thought I'd look at this from the idea of science of mind. The science of mind teaches that we are immersed in an infinite intelligence that knows all things. Ernest Holmes said, there is one mind, that mind is God, that mind is my mind, that mind is perfect. Now, if there is only one mind with infinite intelligence, where everything that could ever be known is known, and you are created out of that mind, and your mind is that mind, then everything that's known in the mind of God or everything that's known in the mind of the infinite is available to you. The key to tapping into this infinite intelligence is that we must be willing, able, and open to receive the wisdom we are seeking. Far too often we say, I know this, and we stop looking. Far too often we stop looking because we feel we're not worthy. Far too often we stop looking and say, I don't have the potential to understand this. Well, that's all a lie. The truth is, the infinite created an expression of itself as you. It gave you the power to think. You have access to all the information that you could ever want. And it's there for you. It's like your mind is like the vast warehouse of the internet. And when you ask the question, you Google a question, all the information is available to you. But you've got to ask the question. And you've got to be willing to not just look at the first site that the search engine brings up, but multiple sites to get the more expanded vision. You see, we are created as outlets for infinite intelligence to express itself. But too often, our faucet is not open wide enough to let the infinite wisdom flow through us. That's right. We're there and we've got as much as we can imagine. And we put this itty bitty thin garden hose up to the faucet and we get a little bit of wisdom. When in retrospect, we can hook up a big fire hose and have more information flowing to us. The question is, are you open to receiving that information? Do you even believe it's possible? You probably don't believe it's possible, but here's why. You've never tested it. You've never tested it and asked the questions. One of the things that I teach is that if you have a question you need answered, ask that question right before you're about to go to sleep. You've done gratitude. You've said what you're grateful for the day. You're lying there, your eyes are closed, and you ask the question, what can I do that will bring greater health into my life? And let it go. And go to sleep. I promise you that the infinite wisdom within you will percolate, will focus on that question. And whether it gives you an answer in the night, in the morning, the next day, you will receive an answer. You'll receive the first of many answers. The universe generally gives you the answer you are most ready to hear. In reality, it gives you the whole answer. But the fact is, you're only ready to hear so much based on how open your faucet is. And so you'll hear the most close thing that you're going to be able to implement. It may be, if you're talking about health, it may be just take a walk today for 20 minutes. It may be you can now add some strength training at another time. It may be you can just change your diet by adjusting this. It'll all happen in perfect time. But the infinite wisdom within you will tell you when it is, if you ask the question. You see, our minds are filters through which we are able to draw whatever wisdom we are seeking from the one mind. The key thing is, we've got a small blocked up filter, and we need to expand it. We need to become open to new possibilities, to new information. You see, without new information and new possibilities, our lives are not going to change. That's why they talk about the idea, if you can read, are you using that ability? Most adults do not read, ergo, they're probably not getting new information. Now, I understand that reading is not the only way. You can watch YouTube videos. That's great. You can listen to podcasts. That's great. But listen to things that are about expanding your mind, giving you new information, new ideas. Also, surround yourself with people who challenge you to think, challenge you to see life in a greater, more expansive way. Those are people that you value. Those are the people you want as friends in your life, because they're just giving you opportunities to look at things differently. Your friendship's not based on whether or not you accept it or not. It's based on honesty and openness. We are only able to receive what we're able to understand. Life is a journey of awakening to the idea that we can partake of the divine nature to the degree that we believe we are the divine nature, individualized, and as such, it is our birthright to tap in and use this wisdom. Do you see how that flowed? Every day, you have the opportunity to awaken to a more expanded version of you. And when you open up to a more expanded version of you, you realize that the divine nature is that of creation. And when you believe that you are the divine nature, individualized, unique, now you can use the wisdom. You tap into it because you know it is your birthright. Ernest Holmes said this: we can only know God insofar as we become God. We can only know the infinite insofar as we embrace a greater perspective of the infinite. Can we know all the infinite? I don't think so, because we're an aspect of it, but we can know more of it. I believe that is the eternal journey we are on, to become more aware and to know more and more of the infinite. The only thing that holds us back from knowing our own divinity is judgment. Judgment causes separation, while the divine is unity and oneness. And when you look at the world, you see that we don't live in love, we live in judgment. If you really break it down, look and use, if you're married or you have children, do you love them? Do you really love them? Do you accept them as they are? Or do you want them to change to please you? And if they're not doing what you want, are you unhappy with them? If you are, you're not in love. When you look in the mirror, can you say, I love you? Can you say, I accept you just like you are? If the answer is no, you want to change things, you're judging yourself. It's okay to change, but accept where you are and begin the process of change. Here's the key thing. You'll only change when you get new information, new ideas, new thoughts. That's why the infinite is there for you. Whether we know it or not, we can and do partake of the divine nature to the degree that we embody the divine in and as us. Most of the time, we don't even have a clue that the divine nature is in us, and yet We're still using the creative power. We're just using it unconsciously. And all the things that you've got in your life that are not what you want, they're because of the unconscious use of that. You've not gone out and sought new information, new wisdom from which to build a new belief. And that's absolutely key to creating a new, more expansive life. You are so wise. You have the power of all the wisdom of the universe at your fingertips. It's available. All you have to do is ask and listen. And the more you learn, the more you'll be able to learn more of, because the universe is perpetually growing with new information. Our awareness is key. Can you be aware that you are one with the divine and that its power and its wisdom is available to the degree that you are open to receive it? Test it. Don't start real big. Start small and start building. Life is a journey. Make it a great one and be the wisest person you'll ever know, because you can be.